Okay. Children hand in hand. Uh, it's about special education. Extreme love autism. Well, we all know what it's about, 'cause it's in the title. Jordan River Anderson, The Messenger. Genetic disorder. Autism the musical. Well, we all know what it's about. Before flying back to Earth, children hospitalized with leukemia. Blind sight. About teenagers that are blind. 12 Beyond the Lines. A 16-year-old disabled by the effects of Agent Orange. Darius Goes West, the role of his life. A teenager living with Duchenne muscular dystrophy. Di Corpo e Alma. I tried my best at pronouncing it. Every Last Child. About polio. Graduating Peter. A special needs student with Down syndrome. The Horse Boy. Yeah, you can't heal autism. I'll find a way. A girl has Fina Bifida. Language says it all. Deaf children. A Life Without Pain. About children who can't feel pain. My Flesh and Blood. Susan Tom adopted 11 children, most of whom had serious disabilities or diseases. My Life Karate Kids. Childhood disability. Funny thing is, this was narrated by David Tennant. So yeah. Al Course. A boy named Leo suffers from the rare genetic disorder called Undine's Curse. We covered Journeys Through the Autism Spectrum and Back. The film focuses on 4 children that Doreen Granpeesheh, another Center for Autism and Related Disorder staff, claim fully recovered from autism and co-occurring intellectual disability after receiving intensive long-term applied behavior analysis. Yeah, you can't fully recover from autism. Heck, I'm an adult that is autistic. Smile Pinky. Two children in rural India received corrective surgery for cleft lips. Now, cleft lips is a very common disorder to have in India. So yeah. Think of me first as a person, Down syndrome. Who are the defaults and where did they get 19 kids? Severely disabled rural orphans. Audible. A deaf person. Gleason. Lou Gehrig's disease, also known as ALS. I'm never afraid. A heart condition known as dextrocardia. My way to Olympia. An armless American archer, a one-legged German swimmer, and a tetraplegic Greek Boccia player. One goal. Young amputated men. Right-footed. State 81. It's about the first Special Olympics swim team. It's a very competitive swim team of teenagers on the autism spectrum. Warrior champions from Baghdad to Beijing. 4 American soldiers who lost limbs or suffered paralysis in the Iraq War. Zion. Zion Clark was born without legs, grew up in foster care, and became a wrestler. Children of the Stars. About children with autism in the People's Republic of China. Dina. It's about Dina Funo and her partner Scott Levin, who are both on the autism spectrum. In a Different Key, the story of autism. It was adapted into a documentary in 2022. Life animated. Autism. Loving lampposts. About autism. Normal people scare me. It's about autism, and it's even co-directed by an autistic teenager named Taylor Cross. Okay, the ASD band film. It's about the ASD band, a Toronto-based group of musicians on the autism spectrum. There's something about Susan. This is about Susan Boyle, who is autistic. Unleashing Hope, the power of service dogs for children with autism. Wretches and Jabberers. About two autistic men, Larry Bissonette and Tracy Treasure, who traveled the world helping other autistic people out of their isolation. Athlete. A cancer survivor, a blind senior citizen, and twin sisters. Black Sun. About blindness. Blind Love, a Holocaust journey through Poland with men's best friend. About blind Israelis traveling to Poland with the help of their guide dogs to learn about the Holocaust. Dealt. About a magician that is completely blind. Going blind. Well, it's in the title. The Inner Eye. About blindness. Notes on blindness. Wow. It's in the title. Resurrecting Hassan. It centers on the Hawtings, a family of blind musicians in Montreal who support themselves by busking in the Guy Concordia station of the Montreal Metro. Deaf Present Now. It follows the 1988 student protest at Gallaudet University when a hearing candidate was elected over other deaf candidates. I actually went to Gallaudet University. To add, it was a field trip because I was taking American Sign Language in the land of the deaf. It's about deafness and it's present in French Sign Language. See What I'm Saying, the Deaf Entertainers documentary. Touch the Sound, a sound journey with Evelyn Glennie. It's about profoundly deaf Scottish classical percussionist Evelyn Glennie. Vibrations from Gaza. The film examines the impact of the Israeli siege and frequent military attacks on deaf children in Gaza Strip who are experiencing the violence through vibrations in the air and trembling in the ground rather than waves of sound. We met in virtual reality. It actually takes place entirely within VR chat. Starring Ray_is_deaf. Well, Jenny has auditory processing disorder. Alice, ignorance is bliss. This is about someone who was diagnosed with dementia. Before we forget, it's about two Singaporean women with dementia and their life within Singaporean society where terminal illnesses and dying are taboo. Dear Audrey, Audrey Shermer has Alzheimer's disease. Extreme love, dementia. This is a quote unquote companion film for Extreme Love Autism. Glenn Campbell, I'll Be Me. I remember better when I paint, about the positive impact of art and other creative therapies in people with Alzheimer's disease. The Crash Wheel, about Down syndrome. The Fog Princess. Down syndrome. John and Michael. Two men with Down syndrome who share a loving relationship. Monica and David. A young married couple with Down syndrome. Hawking. It's about Stephen Hawking. Just as I remember. It's about ALS. So much so fast. It's also about ALS. Okay, this next one I am not promoting obesity, but technically it is considered a disability, so it counts. Fat Camp, an MTV Docs movie presentation about 5 teens at a fat camp founded by Tony Farber called Camp Pocono Trails in the Poconos, Pennsylvania. Fathead. It seeks to refute both the documentary Super Size Me and the lipid hypothesis. Fed Up. It focuses on the causes of obesity in the U.S., presenting evidence showing large quantities of sugar in processed foods are an overlooked root of the problem, and points to the moneyed lobbying power of Big Sugar in blocking attempts to enact policies to address the issue. A Matter of Fact. It chronicles the efforts of a 358-pound man, Gillis Lorraine, to lose half his body weight as part of a hospital-supervised weight loss program. This one I can't find anything on YouTube about it. Okay, so Soul Food Junkies. It explores the history and culinary tradition of soul food and its relevance to African American culture and identity. It also documents Black people that modified their diet towards eating more vegetables. This next one you probably heard of. Super Size Me. The film follows a 3-day period from February 1st to March 2nd, 2003, during which Morgan claimed to consume only McDonald's food, although he later disclosed he was also drinking heavy amounts of alcohol. The film documents the drastic change on Morgan's physical and psychological health and well-being. It also explores the fast food industry's corporate influence, including how it encourages poor nutrition for its own profit and gain. Warning: the full movie will be in a playlist, but if you're squeamish to someone throwing up, I advise you skipping this one. We also have to talk about the sequel. Super Size Me 2, Holy Chicken. It explores ways in which the fast food industry has rebranded itself as healthier since Morgan's original film, through the process of him looking to open his own fast food restaurant, thus exposing some of the ways in which rebranding is more perception than reality. It says it was his final film before his death, but that's not true because, oops. Because look, he directed One Direction, This Is Us, A Ponytail, Made in Japan, The Princess of North Sudan. Oh, wait a minute. Okay, then it actually is the last one. I'm such an idiot. I'm sorry. But yeah, your fat friend. Yeah. Aileen Wuornos, The Selling of a Serial Killer, about PTSD. Crazy. It's about the traumatic effects of war on the soldiers of United Nations peacekeeping missions. Flipping out. It describes the drug use of Israeli men and women in India. It follows Israeli soldiers who take their discharge bonus and travel to India, where 90% will take drugs and around 2,000 will eventually need professional help after experiencing drug-induced mental breakdowns or flipping out. Hell and back again. It's about a sergeant in the U.S. Marine Corps who returns from the Afghanistan conflict with a badly broken leg and PTSD. Wildcat. It's about animal rescue efforts in Peru. And of course, we have the Goddess Bunny. It's about the life of a transgender woman named Sandy Crisp, also known as the Goddess Bunny. She had polio as a child. And yes, Obey the Walrus does in fact use clips from this exact documentary. Okay, so the Goddess Bunny, the full documentary used to be on YouTube, but I can't seem to find it now. So yeah. That ends part 1. Bye guys.